Because of health hazard, Habsburg monarchy Emperor Joseph II issued a sanitary order that banned all of Vienna's cemeteries from the city area. New cemeteries were established outside the city wall, which at the time ran roughly along today's Gürtel. The Währing Jewish Cemetery was opened in 1784, and it is estimated that up to 30,000 people were buried here in total in the following 100 years. A rather unusual feature is that there are grave inscriptions in both German and Hebrew. During World War II, however, a significant part of the cemetery and almost 2,000 graves were destroyed by the Nazi administration to construct an underground air raid shelter. In an improvised last-minute gathering, members of the Jewish community recovered all the bones they could find in the construction site and hauled them to Vienna's central cemetery, where they were buried in a mass grave. The pit dug out for the bunker complex was later used as a firefighting pond as Vienna was suffering from heavy bombardments and resulting fires destroying the buildings in the area. The originally planned air raid shelter was never completed. In 1942, around 350 bodies were exhumed on the demand of so-called racial researchers and transported to the Natural History Museum in Vienna. In the same year, the entire site was expropriated. After World War II ended, tough negotiations resulted in the original cemetery area being given back to the Jewish community under the condition that the destroyed part was from now on owned by the Vienna municipality. The municipality built the Arthur Schnitzler courtyard on this land. At the same time, the cemetery began to deteriorate rapidly, as the religious community could not afford to maintain it, and all the relatives of those buried were either killed in the Holocaust or had to emigrate abroad. There were no descendants left in Vienna to look after the graves. It took more than half a century until the attempts to fund the rescue of the cemetery were successful. Projects for restoration work on the graves and cemetery buildings began. In 2019, the cemetery area was so overgrown that it was inaccessible. Members of the Austrian armed forces cleared the vegetation to allow access again. Now the cemetery opens its doors again to the public once a month. After signing a disclaimer due to the possible risk of injury from falling branches or toppling gravestones, visitors can enter the grounds. About 7,500 graves are still at the cemetery site today. Restoration work to at least maintain the current condition is progressing. The cemetery opens its gates on the second Sunday of every month and also offers guided tours.